What's up, guys? Today let's take a look at how to defend the buggy choke, okay? Which is now being used at the highest levels of competition. So it's important to know how to defend this, okay? So we're already here in side control, and the buggy choke comes when my arm goes over his head, okay? Neighbor was here pushing on his neck, pushing away, and I slip my arm over, and then we can start setting up the buggy choke here. So I'm gonna bring my leg all the way up, catching the pit of my elbow there, and I'm gonna lock my figure four, right? That's the buggy choke. As I squeeze and expand my lats here, I'm gonna be able to tap the guy, okay? Let me just show here, his head and arm are in this little space here, right? It's a very tight choke, it's legit, okay? People are now using, like I said, at the highest level. So, as any submission, we have early defense and late defense. Of course, early is always better because it's not as tight, right? So, the first thing that he could do to prevent this is not allowing me shoot my arm all the way deep. So, if his head gets underneath my armpit, he knows I'm gonna bring my leg up and start reaching with my arm. So, if he drives his head towards my arm, like he's trying to finish an arm triangle there, it's gonna be really hard for me to reach for my leg, right? So that's initial prevention, just blocking my arm, driving his head towards my arm, prevents me from reaching my arm all the way, okay? Second prevention is I'm already starting to grab my leg, right? So if I'm starting already here, locking on my elbow, he can always drive his elbow towards my hip, his right elbow here, at least to block my hip, and he's going to start moving his head forward towards the camera there, so he disconnects the shoulder from his neck, right? So it was a little late here already. I lock, he pinches his elbow, moving his head forward, creates the space from his shoulder and neck. Also turns me on my side here with a weird angle, hard to finish. And third option here, when everything is already super tight, of course he cannot wait here too long, he has to act immediately. So when I lock everything, he's going to still do the same stuff with his elbow, pinching here on my hip and moving his head forward, but he's going to also add this other elbow to the other side of my head, okay? Not at the base of the neck, but at the top of my head, so he can bend my spine. He can bend my cervical. Anytime that my cervical is bent, I cannot generate the same amount of power, or in this case, the same amount of squeeze, and I won't be able to finish the guy. So we are here on the same situation. I start setting up. He throws the arm over, bends my neck, and I can squeeze here as hard as I want, and I won't be able to finish this because my spine is misaligned, right? That's a general concept for any technique. Even, it's the same concept for lifting weights. You cannot lift like a squat. You cannot squat if your neck is bent. You cannot bench press as much as you bench press normally if your neck is misaligned. So here's the same stuff. He throws the arm over, bends my neck, bringing the elbow close to his body. I'm misaligned. I cannot generate the same power, okay?